Hey guys, and welcome back to Kharak Cup 12. We're going to continue with Group Stage A here. One more replay and then I retire to the bed. Or two, I guess, because, you know, there's two games, but whatever. Maze actually submitted the replays and put the winner of it in the titles, so I mean, thanks, buddy. But that's fine. Anyway, he's going to be up against, so far, the undefeated Group Stage player, AGameAnx. This is actually, A-Game's last couple games we're going to be casting from the group stage here, and it looks like he's going to go undefeated so far. Matchup is going to be CVC, which is exciting. What am I talking about? It's vanilla. That's not very exciting. No, it's still kind of fun to watch. We got Maze here in the orange and blue colors, pretty nice looking, and A-Game as usual in the gray, and also gray, but slightly different gray. I'm recording, right? Yes, I am. Haha, excellent. Wouldn't be a BozoCast if I didn't ask myself if I was recording or not, at least like 3 times during the video. Map's gonna be Tight End Passage, of course. We all know this map, everyone's favorite, right? I never noticed, like, this is an interesting looking formation here. It's so shiny, look at that. Nice decals, dude. It actually is pretty cool. I don't know if you've watched that video I'm referring to when I say nice decals. It's a guy from BBI, but instead of decals, he always say decals for some reason. But he's talking at like a GDC conference. But he's talking about how they're trying to get the terrain to look right in DOK, right? But if you ever worked with like terrain maps and stuff, you know that they're all subdivided into little triangles, and you can kind of see it here. There's like these weird artifacts here, like that. That's a good example of one. You see how it goes like down and then back up there? It kind of bounces a little bit. It's really difficult to avoid these types of artifacts in a game. I don't know, if you play PUBG, maybe you know you've seen stuff like this on the terrain map, because PUBG's developers were insanely lazy, so the way that it's designed, it's just like one gigantic bump map, but you see a lot of little triangles in it like that the same way, especially in like Miramar, for example. This kind of stuff happens all the time with me when I'm trying to, you know, design maps for my mod, because I'm using the Hammer editor and they use displacements there, and again, they're subdivided into little triangles, you get all these kind of weird defects. But basically, in order to combat that and still get that like nice look of the really groovy terrain and stuff, they just use decals everywhere. So like if you ever see this map's oh yeah, no, this is a good one actually. See this like line here? It's clear that this is where the terrain like bends, right? There's like a little crease here, except there's not actually. If you flatten it out, you'll see it's not really there so drastically as it looks. It's just that they've added this decal here so that the detail is a little bit more obvious without getting that, you know, terrible looking like artifact where all the triangles are like poking out. You probably don't find this stuff as interesting as me, but I find it pretty cool. So yeah, so the game. Looks like it's just support cruiser first in A-Game. I think he went 6 salvages on the main. You'd seen in some previous games that he did 5 instead and then moved a bunch of LAVs, but not going to be the case this time. That was versus ConF, and I had a feeling it was maybe because of like the blast run threat. But it is going to be support cruiser first, hoping to just, you know, have a very safe build here. There is actually a slight threat of the LAVs coming back onto the main, but A-Game already setting up a turret there. And he has an AAV on the way, so he's probably not going to take any losses on that side. Maze picks up an artifact with his base runner here. You know, things are looking fine for him, but he doesn't have that eco boost that A-Game has got. Fighter and gunship is also coming out for A-GameAnx. And Maze has gotten railgun fabrication before AAVs. I have a feeling that's going to come back to haunt him a little bit because you know, he's already got strike fighters like on the queue here. Well, that's not true, but he's got their tech on the way. Does A-Game, so yeah, looking like a really smooth start for A-Game. Everything checking out quite nicely. This one LAV on the high ground doing much more damage than he ought to. And I think the AAV gonna clean this up. No, he doesn't have the range on it actually. Luckiest LAV in history, am I right? Oh, he's got range on that guy? He's a strange kid, you know that? This AAV actually can shoot up quite a lot. It's a funny thing with LAVs, they actually have more range than like the counter units to them, you know? Except for assault railguns, I guess, that's a difference, but it's pretty close there still anyway. So I mean, if you're really good, you can actually use the LAVs to like attack AAVs and stuff. Like what we just saw right there. That was like perfect positioning for the LAVs to do that kind of damage. And actually, they're going to slide back through the backlines here, but A-Game very wisely keeping one AV in the backline. I actually probably would have done the guy who was damaged, right? Send him back to be with the support cruiser and he's getting healed, and then he's the guy who covers the backline. But that's pretty small potatoes, I would say, just to make it a little easier to attack because your units aren't damaged. But fortunately, we're not seeing like some turret wars meta. That's always nice. Yeah, this is looking pretty fine for A-Game. He actually picks off an LAV there with his one LAV too. Again, doing much more damage than he ought to. That's pretty cool. AV's getting a bit of a surround on these LAVs now. This guy, if he comes back in here, maybe they can close the net, kind of. He's running away. He's not even interested. I think it's because he's trying to stop extractions here now. Strike fighters are out, and there are two railguns here. A-Game could go for them. He might just be going for a support cruiser sniper, though, and I think that's the idea. May's getting support cruiser anti-air. That's going to be a little late. A-Game does not waste any missiles. I think that's a dead support cruiser then. Well, we'll have to see. I guess we'll find out. But this guy took some damage, probably from the LAVs. LAVs actually do get kind of pincered by these AAVs here. It looks like A-Game is going to allow the double extraction. Not really much he wants to do about that. This is worth a lot more to him. The thing is, he could actually have stopped the extraction too, right? Strike fighters come out, clean out the railguns, and then the base burners are just kind of free. But first off, people are fearing base burners a little bit more because in the patch they do much more anti-air than they do in vanilla. That probably doesn't have much to do with it. It's probably more just that he knows getting that support cruiser snipe worth a lot more to him, so that's where he went instead. In fact, it looks like he killed a salvager too, another one being left with only 54 HP. Railgun's beginning to come out from A-Game as well. He has a second support cruiser up, moving on to his third base. He's definitely going to be able to outspam Maze, at least in this regard. Second base even getting some grief now. And the attack from A-Game is pretty relentless here. Support cruiser anti-air is out though, so that's not going to happen again to Maze, but the second base location now perhaps going to be vulnerable to airstrikes as well. If it stops being vulnerable to this AAV, mind you. I heard a turret firing there. Quite sure. Oh, yeah. That's a nice little cheeky play right there. It's actually going to deny the base burners. Okay. I like that. Well, it's nice to just kind of stick a turret in your opponent's extraction zone, just like super annoying stuff. Looks like the air units are going to come for those railguns like I mentioned before, if that's going to be the choice here. Quite a fair one. Now, I would say if you're Maze, when your opponent gets air and you're not ready for it, having two base burners out is actually really good because that anti-air turret. That's probably what I would have done. You can see he's starting to set one up now. If that came out earlier, maybe there's something that could be done there. It looks like A-Game just going to clear out the turret post that's on his extraction zone there. Actually eats a missile. That's going to be okay. That does a lot of damage. Wow. Oh my gosh. Because normally you have to hit strike fighters 3 times to kill them, right? Suddenly I'm doubting myself. I think you do. I don't know. There's a lot of strike fighters. 7 of them, yeah. But they're going to be a little disappointed to see there is indeed support cruiser anti-air out, so no chance for them to, you know, do really game any damage right here, but they can still be pretty annoying. Yeah, see, it doesn't normally take 2 hits there. The thing is, like, the strike fighters can dock now. They've already kind of done their damage. They killed off 2 salvagers, right? So even support cruiser anti-air are not going to be enough to negate these things entirely. Just with a little bit of micro, which is why I don't use them, because my micro is kind of questionable with air units. I should really just get better at it. Here's the tricky thing with anti-air turret posts, though. One of them is going to be taken out here almost certainly. AVs are ready to cover the railguns, although actually taking a lot more damage than I feel like it should. That railgun not going to go down. Now, that was only like 3 LAVs, but they almost killed the railgun. I guess there's no armor. No, there's armor upgrades for A-Game. Carrier getting sieged now. He's just going to try to step on these railguns. I don't know if he can do that, though. Well, I mean, it's pretty much all risky plays at this point. A-Game definitely in the dominant position right here, in case you couldn't tell. Yeah, once the carrier leaves there, LAV is just going to swarm in and kill whatever they want, so it's It's a tough spot to be in. %, now that carrier, getting quite low. Support cruisers are definitely going to go down there. There's actually 2 support cruisers here by the carrier ready to heal it up, which is nice, I guess. I thought that was a bomber, no, it's just 2 strike fighters having a special bond, that's all. Yeah, one support cruiser goes down, Eco just being completely rinsed here. Anti-air terror post finally going to go down, I think, if these railguns can land a shot on a stationary target. Support cruiser anti-air going to claim the victim over there, though. Nicely done, Ren. You know what this actually points out to me, I think, is that we talk about support cruiser anti-air being nerfed in the patch. It actually got a buff to its damage, though, didn't it? It's just the fire rate went down. It's kind of interesting. Because you can see, like, it doesn't do much damage, it's just that the fire rate's really kind of insane. Which is really nice versus Galaxy, especially, I suppose, because the Interceptors got less health. Looks like May's actually going to GG there. Doesn't want to let his carrier be killed. But yeah, 1-0 for AGameAnx. Kind of the expected result. Especially for me, because A-Game freaking said it in the title of the replay. But that... Or, Maze, sorry. Said it in the title of the replay. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's hop into Game 2 here. Gonna be on Firebase Krill. Again, not actually sure if it's Game 2, but... It probably is. The replay stores like a creation date. You can see in the loader, and this one was like 15 minutes after the last one, so I just kind of assume. Oh, you know, that can actually tell me how long a game is. I better keep looking at that, but not look at it too hard. It's like I go into Battlefy to look at like who is in which group stage, but I don't look too hard because then I'll see who won. Anyway, this time A-Game going to be rolling Con F up here in the north. Rusty boys. As for Maze, still Coalition. Obviously, I mean, he wasn't playing random. You can actually change faction, I guess, during a group stage match. And by the way, there's been a bunch of people who keep asking me, like, what are the rules exactly for this or for that, but almost everything I think that you need to know is on Battlefy, actually, so just check that whenever you need to know how map picks work and whatever. If I haven't written it very clearly, then just go ahead and tell me that, and I'll try to make it a bit more clear for the next one. But right now I have Philothanic kind of, like, sanity checking me in that regard, and he does pretty well. He's a much better writer, I guess, than I am when it comes to trying to, you know, actually make sense and be coherent and whatever. And so, he kind of, like, rewrites everything that I write to make it a bit more easy to understand, which is kind of funny, but it's warranted. It's warranted. Interesting stuff coming out here from Maze, actually. He retires his base runner, but he still does an 8 salvager support cruiser up. No, he cancels the support cruiser. What the heck? That's interesting. Because normally I would... Power Reserve 1? You mad lad. What are you doing there? Power Reserve 1's kind of an interesting move. What I was going to say is that normally... Look, AGameAnx is now playing Homeworld as a Kharak. I know that game. In fact, look, there he is now. Anyway... Normally, when you go for support cruiser first, you leave the base runner intact, right? Because you're trying to use it for a turret if you need to. It's a really good defensive bulwark that you can set up, especially because the support cruiser is healing it and everything. It's just like impossible to clear it out, right? Base runner inventory. Okay, something weird is going on here. I'm excited to see what it is because I like it when people do weird stuff, but I don't know about this. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, so doing 8 salvagers is pretty greedy to get the support cruiser first build, right? But it can work. The thing is, you don't need to retire the base runner to make that work. Like, you have the money for the support cruiser already. And then, yeah, if you don't retire him, you get this kind of nice defensive bulwark. So it kind of like, I think that would make more sense, but we'll just have to see. So base runner inventory is out. That means this guy can set down a turret immediately. It's a tech that we don't see very often. Hey there. Someone is staring at me. Anyway, it's a tech we don't see very often, probably because it's not very useful, but that's what it does. We'll see if he's able to use this at all. Yes, he's gonna set down a turret right in his main. Again, though, like, the base runner that he started with could just do this already, right? So, unless he, like, makes another couple of base runners, I feel like this is not really worth much. Second base getting harassed here by these Sandstormers from A-Game. Actually, there was... No, that was an LAV that went down, right? Yeah, I thought there were one too many salvagers produced, but that's not true. So turret is up. Let me give him some grief to these Sandstormers here. Amazingly, A-Game manages not to lose any Sandskimmers to the turret. That's quite hard to do. I don't know if you've ever tried that. He actually has got railgun fabrication. He's going to start producing heavy railguns from this production cruiser. So we're going to see kind of like a 1 PC railgun push here. Which is a build that really doesn't work unless your opponent kind of allows it to happen, but that's exactly what Maze has done here. And that railgun actually just killed an LAV. That's kind of impressive. Yeah, you know, those turrets are going to be... Like, that turret is going to be a bit of an issue when it comes to stopping this. Or, sorry, to pushing in there for A-Game, because... Well, no, he's got line of vision. It's just because of this hill here. But there's like a crack in a hill, little V there that the railguns can shoot through. If this hill, like, connected there, this would be really tricky for A-Game, because you'd have to, like, close in with the railguns, and the turret's just going to smack them all down, right? But, no, this is fine. He's in a really nice position right here, obviously, where he can... siege down that carrier quite effectively. Double railgun pops for Maze though. No, that's actually one at a time. He's just kind of built up 3 of them, I guess. So a bit of damage being done to Maze's carrier here, but A-Game is not able to continue the siege. Don't think he will be. It's going to take a while now for Maze to be able to push out here. Well, maybe he will. I mean, the thing is, he's got second base mining, right? And Maze has been completely denied from this. That might just allow Maze, or A-Game to continue the siege here. Yeah, I think it will. Oh, he's got high ground on this railgun, too. That's really nasty. A-Game with some really good railgun micro, too. He manages to take out 2 without any losses, but then the LAVs come in from behind, take out one of the railguns. Oh, this guy really low. Railgun's kind of getting backed into the corner here. Coalition Rail's proven to be pretty effective due to that stealth railgun syndrome I've talked about so many times before. I think this attack is going to fizzle out now for A-Game. I don't really see a way that he can push on and kill the carrier here. The thing is, he can still delay a lot of time, right? And during that time, Maze is going to have it pretty hard. He's trying to extract her now, that's good. But A-Game's got 2 production cruisers. Probably a refinery's already finished. It's not even on the way. So, yeah, I mean, A-Game's going to be on 3 base in the blink of an eye. And then this is going to be really, really tough for Maze. I really don't know what he was going for. I mean, that's just, it's a weird tech choice. Like, you never get base for inventory. And then, you know... he didn't even really use it, I guess. I really like the idea of him trying something a little weird because it's fun to watch, right? But this is not the kind of thing that I would have recommended, I guess. That's basically all I'm saying. Is A-Game actually going to deny the artifact here? Not with that micro, he's not. No, I don't think he will. Maybe. This is Assault Railgun, though, not putting in any damage, really, so... Mag Accelerator coming out for Maze. I guess he wants to take a fight right now. To be fair, he does have a bit of momentum here, but the LAV numbers are just too thin. So once the Sandskimmers cut through them, which they will before too long, it's like, what, 7 to 12, yeah? Maybe more. 14, oh gosh. Yeah, so I mean, once the Sandskimmers cut through the LAVs here, that's going to put a stop to that attack. Looks like Maze recognized that. He canceled Mag Accelerator. That's definitely what he needed to do. But... yeah, no, this is not really going to work out for him, I don't think. Interceptor fabrication on the way, actually, for AGameAnx. It's a pretty spicy tech. Can be nice for clearing out those railguns. If I were him, though, I think I would just focus my money on buying a whole bunch of heavy railguns and then just push on to victory here. You do have easily the macro edge. I think that's clear to say. And these Sandskimmers here, they do not want to be suppressed. They're just going to charge in there. And to be fair, they definitely can. No upgrades on the side of Maze here, not even the boost. No, he does have a boost actually. But A-Game got rating, armor, and he's beginning to get his damage upgrades up too now. You can just charge in here, clear out all those LAVs, and then the railguns are easy pickings. And there's really nothing Maze can do about this because Eco is just too far behind. So down go all the railguns from Maze. And then A-Game gonna back away. Oh, he's really gonna have to bring his A-Game to get back into this game, right? Anyway. Power Reserve 2 actually getting researched now by Maze. I'm not sure exactly what the idea is here. But A-Game's still not making any heavy railguns. I really would just make a bunch of heavies in this position. Especially as Maze actually has got a V fabrication, but he's still just making LAVs to try to counter the Sandskimmers from his opponent. He's behind on upgrades, they're not counter units, he's behind on numbers. There's no way this can work out for him, right? Going for AAVs would definitely be better in this case. LAV's kind of getting chunked here. The Sandskimmer's actually taking pretty bad losses for being out of the carrier, but like, trading 3 for 1 is good for A-Game at this point, right? Because that's how much eco advantage he's got here. Sure enough, it does work out. He's cleared out the turret, he's cleared out all the LAVs, now the eco's going to fall too. And yeah, Maze sees the writing on the wall, he's going to GG out right there. Not a single heavy railgun reproduced by A-Game right there. I just find that kind of funny. It's just like, you know, I can make railguns and like win, but anyway, it is going to be a 2-0 for AGameAnx. Surprise, surprise. Maze actually wrote that on the name of the replay pack, but that's okay. That also means A-Game going undefeated in Group A, so the result we expected, but a good result still for AGameAnx. Maze still looking fine in this group stage. It's going to come down, I guess, to the matches between him and Fear. He's definitely going to want to win those. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next one.